You probably have a favorite album, that desert island record you just can't imagine life without, the one tied to life-defining moments, that collection of songs that inspired you, the music that changed you. These are the stories of those albums. These are revolutions. It was rock and roll's second big bang, a musical and cultural revolution ushered in by a little-known band from Seattle. Kurt Cobain, Chris Novoselic, and Dave Grohl stepped into the dumpy Sound City Studios in Van Nuys, California in May and June of 1991 with producer Butch Vig. A seismic shift in the rock and roll landscape would follow. Nirvana's Nevermind, their major label debut, brought rock back on the charts, selling tons of records, 10 million and counting, and famously taking the top spot on the album charts from Michael Jackson and his Dangerous album after a 4-week run. Bursting with punk nihilism and metal-style power chords, the trio defined the sound soon dubbed grunge. An emerging scene for the Pacific Northwest was quickly becoming part of the national mainstream, both in music and fashion. But what set Nirvana apart from its Seattle peers was their lead singer and guitarist Kurt Cobain, who channeled his psychological pain into melodic sing-alongs. Cobain adored the Beatles and looked up to John Lennon's surreal lyricism and non-linear storytelling. And he believed in melody above all else. A camouflage pop album, Nevermind featured hits across the board like In Bloom, Come As You Are, and Lithium. These songs featured catchy hooks and melodic verses, merged with a wall of heavy guitar and bass, along with a drummer whose very nature was to hit them as hard as he could. But the album also showcased Cobain's talent for dark and mournful storytelling with songs like Polly and Something in the Way. Imagery was a huge contributor to the success of the album. The cover featured a naked baby boy alone underwater with a dollar bill on a fishhook just out of reach. It immediately grabbed your attention, just like the band did when you saw them live or if you caught a picture of its charismatic frontman. With the generational anthem Smells Like Teen Spirit, Kurt was trying to write the ultimate pop song. Its primordial stomp spun fuzzily off a basic Louie Louie riff and articulated the dissatisfaction plaguing Generation Xers. Smells Like Teen Spirit topped the alt-rock charts and was a top 10 staple on the Billboard Hot 100. But it was the MTV generation that really grabbed onto Nevermind, thanks to the video for Smells Like Teen Spirit, which featured a high school assembly turned mosh pit, cheerleaders in black dresses, students moshing and demolishing the gym, and of course, the band itself leading the frenzy and demolishing their own gear in the process. There was nothing like it on television. Nevermind was released with little pomp and circumstance and modest expectations, but it exploded onto the mainstream that was craving something different and inspired many groups and artists that would follow. Nirvana and Vig crafted the perfect storm with Nevermind, arguably the most important album of the 90s generation.